All right, thank you guys. There we go. All right, thanks. I see a lot of you guys here. Elim, I don't think I've seen you before. If this is your first time, and Jorge H maybe? What's up to everyone else in here? All right, so we're going to do the trade review. Please send your trades to the off topic. We'll try to look, and we've got a smaller group and less trades, so we can focus a little bit more and try to get more interaction from all of you guys, which is fantastic. And we will go from there. So first trade, J. We got J and then Booty. And what's up to anyone on YouTube watching? All right, Jay, you got 2 trades. It's not that busy on Wednesday, so yeah, I know. Jay, are you in Australia? Yeah, I try to remember everything. Yeah, okay. Got it right that time. Yeah, send as many trades as you want. I can't always get to all of them, but today we probably will be able to. Yeah, just tuck this away. I hope you don't either, man. All right. So you don't have anything written down here. So, oops, let us know what you did here. What was your strategy? Oh, sweet. Thanks, Tin Lan Chu. I'll definitely have time to look at that one today. Really appreciate you sending it. Thanks. I am. Thank you, Tin. All right. Bull flag on the 5-minute. Not clean, but it went above the 50 SMA on the 1. Yeah, I see it, man. Okay. Bull flag. Boom, boom, boom. That's your bull flag, right? Let me actually zoom in for us. Okay, bull flag on the 5, correct? Okay, where is your stop on this? Let's look at the 1 minute. Here's your bull flag. Your stop is VWAP. Right under VWAP, right? Yeah, perfect. You're not getting a breakout. You're trying to wait for this pullback, definitely. Your risk is here, which is a fantastic level of VWAP. After it loses it, comes back up. It's in 1 minute. I mean, it's in a 1 minute uptrend and a 5-minute uptrend. Let's go back to this 5-minute. It's in 5-minute clear new lows. I mean, new highs. And Jay, notice this volume on it. So you have increasing volume, above VWAP. The sellers have not showed their face with increasing volume to push it back down. You get in right here. Now here's the interesting thing, Jay. Yeah, I was going to say that, okay? Your risk is here. Your reward is less than a 1-to-1, honestly, especially with spread. Tell me what happened there on this. Why did you get out so early? Right, Jay, you got scared because of potential resistance. A bull flag and a moving average cross is how resistance gets, how you bust through resistance. 25% though is really good. Thank goodness it wasn't 50 or 75%, so you still have a decent position, but... Alright, Jay, you were scared. Do you have a rule at all, if you enter into a trade, not to partial out before a 1-to-1 or at a 1-to-1? Like, does this clearly break your rule? Okay, so you don't have a clear rule. All right, so I do have a clear rule that I need to, if I'm going to enter the trade, I'm going to lose money overall on that trade if I am willing to partial out. I mean, overall on that setup idea with all the trades I do, if I am able to to profit out at a level that's so close to a one-to-one risk to reward. And that's just me personally. And how it helped me to hold on is that I don't get into trades if I think the resistance point is at a one-to-one or under. And when I put my stop in the market, I simply then add limit orders for a 2-to-1 or 1.5 or 3-to-1, and I just wait for it to happen. I accept my loss gratefully if I'm wrong, and I hold my winners, okay? Jay, what I realized in my trading is that when I was right, which was oftentimes, I always got out way too early. And it's kind of a hard thing to think about, but as I kept thinking and thinking about it, it helped me to hold longer, to trust my entry, and to trust my setup. Jay, if you're playing this as a bull flag, here's your bull flag. If that's your setup, this is not a resistance point, man. Did you get what I'm saying? You're reading it as a resistance point on the 1 minute chart, or you're saying you don't trust this setup for some reason. But a bull flag dictates that any potential resistance you note, it's going to get busted through. Exactly, Jay. That's what I was going to say next. You got out right when people were happy to take your shares. Now, I also want to note this last thing. Is this moving average the 50? It's got to be the 50, but maybe the 200. But I'm guessing it's the 50. So, moving average cross, explosion. Moving average cross where the 50 comes under the 9 and 20. Right at that moment, look what happens. So not only are you getting out right when people are wanting it on a bull flag, you're getting out when the moving average cross is happening right at that moment, and people are seeing that for the technical breakout, and bam, it just explodes. You get now. A hammer happens at the bottom of a trend, Jay. So it's really hard for me to say that's a hammer right there, but it's the same formation, and it means the same thing, that sellers tried to push it down and they got wiped out by the buyers. So this will be the last thing I'll say about this, Jay. Look at this. This is like a shooting star, and this is like a hammer, okay? This shooting star happens at the top of a trend, okay? Oh, here's the top of the trend. Here's a shooting star. First of all, it's on the 1 minute, which is weak. It has low volume, which is weak. And it has to bust through a million moving averages and VWAP. Okay? That's a very, very hard thing to do. This, on the other hand, is kind of like a hammer where the sellers push it down, buyers bring it back up. And now it's above VWAP. It doesn't have to fight against that. It's in your new 5-minute strategy of the bull flag. It's in your bull flag. It'll make a new 1 minute high. It's got no overhead resistance until up here, which is a fantastic place to get out. And look at that explosion once the 9, 20, 50 moving average cross happens. So you see that, man? Yeah, so overall, great entry, great original stop placement. That first partial, if that wouldn't have been in there, it would have been just amazing, but good job at keeping that at only 25%, locking in a little bit, and then letting it run to the next area of resistance. Okay, good job. I like that. If you did this long 100 times and put your stop here and wait for a 3-to-1, you'd probably be a successful trader. Like, that's a really good setup, man, with the 5-minute bull flag. And this is Booty. TRGT. I think you mean TGT. Okay. Target. Orb, 2 trades. First on the 1 minute, got stopped out below the 9 and 20. Second one, I waited for the 5-minute orb to break the high of the previous candle at 960, stop below the 9 and 20, and target a break of high day at 120, and took partials and all out with lots of red on the time and sales. Heck yeah, so you're reading the time and sales. And a price action change. All right. Okay, so first of all, Right, you add it in with the confirmation. When you say you first on the 1 minute orb, where is a 1 minute orb? It red on the time and sales, Eric, means that people, traders from around the world, are hitting the bid to get the F out of the trade. They're clicking to get out right away. There's a lot of selling pressure. Okay, Booty, right? This is a bullish candle, but it is not a 1 minute ORB. In this trade, are you saying that basically you're calling this a 1 minute candle and this break a 1 minute ORB? Okay, so be careful. So this is not a 1 minute ORB. If you're trading official 1 minute ORB, here's, why am I zoomed out so far? Sorry. Here is the 1 minute opening range. This would be the break for a 1 minute opening range up. This would be the break for a 1 minute opening range down. So if I was to see this and you went short here or short here for the body break or the wick break, that's a 1 minute opening range candle break, okay? Trading along here after this bullish candle is not an 1 minute opening range break. You could say it's above VWAP. You're trying to do momentum. You think it's going to break high of day or pre-market high or whatever this is, but it's not a 1 minute ORB. And it's extremely difficult to trade in the first 5 minutes. Andrew does it every day now. I start to do it. For the first year, I would always lose on it because it's the most volatile and it's so hard to manage your risk. And it's harder to read the charts. And you have to have the right kind of brain and personality to be able to process all of that information so quickly. Now let's look at your other trade. Okay? All of a sudden, now it's something interesting. You have this gigantic wick up. And we know that target gapped up. You're playing a 5 minute body break right there. And now you're reading the time and sales and other risk to reward levels off of a slower time frame. Even if you're using the 1 minute, you're really using the 5 minute. So this is what I want to say to you, Booty. It's, how long have you been trading? One month in sim. All right, you're going to get suckered into the 1 minute just like we all did, just like I did, spending years and months trying to trade the 1 minute before realizing, shoot, that 1 minute's really hard for me. Maybe I can do it, but most people can't. You need the right kind of brain, you need the right kind of processing power, and you need the right kind of attitude to do this. So look, I'm going to go through this really 1 minute low, chop, 1 minute high, no new 1 minute low. No new high, no new 1 minute low, new 1 minute low, new 1 minute low, new 1 minute low, new 1 minute high, new 1 minute low, new 1 minute high, new 1 minute low, new 1 minute high. All right? So now let's just say that's incredibly difficult to trade. Let's slow it down. Let's see a little bit of a broader picture. Just a little bit. First candle. No new 5 minute low, no new 5 minute low, new 5 minute low, new 5 minute low, new 5 minute low, a little bit of a downtrend. Okay, along with that happening, new 5 minute high, inside wedge in a new 5 minute high from this on a strong stock, first new 5 minute high or low, new 5 minute high, 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 no new 5 minute high, no new 5 minute high, new low, little false breakout, but little false breakout after a new low and then the downtrend. So do you see how much cleaner the 5-minute chart is versus the 1 minute, Booty? Yeah, and new traders, it takes patience. That's 60 seconds times 5 for each of those candles when you want to trade every tick. You want to trade 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds later, 60 seconds later. Let's go out, right? We want to do these. Yeah, and Eric, you're right. They're still hardcore, but they're definitely way more easy to manage than the 1 minute. So just note that, Booty. Don't change anything in what you're trying to do now. Just as you're trading, start to note what happens on a slightly bigger time frame and see if you start to read it as a little cleaner. That's not quite as choppy. Got it, Booty? And this is why you want to take sim. This is why you want to be in these classes. This is why you want someone to review your trade, so you don't spend years making the same mistakes that every other trader makes, which is trying to read price action as a brand new trader, getting chopped out on 1 minute. Okay? That's how Andrew trades after years and years of practicing, finding his edge, and finding what works for him. That does not mean it's going to work for you. It might work for you, and excellent if you can figure it out, but it'll take time and a lot of patience, and that's why you're in sim in here. So good job. All right, JD. All right, so Booty. And then JD. Okay, JD, are you here? Awesome. You can skip the orb. Skip this one before I read it. All right, skipping that one. Got it. Ching. Okay. So note that Booty, JD doesn't have the 1 minute chart up. Don't know if he traded it or not, but at least on this, it's the 2 minute chart. And look how clean you get on 2 minute price action compared to your 1 minute. It's not perfect, but he's found that it's a little easier to read than the 1 minute. The higher the time frame, the cleaner the move. He's building a wedge. This was a bull flag setup, so I updated my journal to track it. Awesome. I think he's got the stock consolidated into a point and broke with volume. Look at that volume, JD. Heck yeah. It was too fast to catch, but then you saw a hammer on the 1 minute chart, so you are using 1 minute and took it long after the break. Perfect. I could have went long before the break, but waited for confirmation, so I didn't get the best R&R, but you got the better confirmation. Did you note that you were in this 15-minute uptrend with the higher highs and higher lows before you made the trade, JD? Okay, so if you didn't, you should, because that's why I trade these. If I'm in new 15-minute highs and I start to play a long play that's not necessarily a 15-minute breakout, but it's some sort of strategy on a smaller time frame in the 15-minute highs with the volume. So now what do you got, JD? You have people looking at the ABCD. You have people looking at the wedge. You have people looking for the volume. You have people looking at none of that and only looking at, wow, look at this. This looks... Here you go, JD. Why do you have that up? Let's say you don't see anything. Okay, JD, if you're in your right mindset, which you might not always be, because in trading we're not, and the price gets to right here, in any world that you live in, would you ever short that stock? Right. But if we look at the 1 minute and the 5 minute, there might be a reason to short it in our heads, and we just don't look at the larger time frame. I do that all the time in the past. So why do we have these larger time frames up? to help give us direction so we don't lose track of simply chasing price action on smaller time frames. Where this just gives me a reason to be like, all right, if anything, I'm going to go long. Maybe I'm not going to go long, but I'm sure as heck not going to go short. That's why you have this up, to give confirmation, even if it's a little glance, JD. It'll really, really help your trade ideas. Make sense? Heck yeah. Then these partials are good. You stuck to your target right there. You got out more right there. I like it. I like that trade a lot. And on Hasty on YouTube, go over LEDS. If you send a trade into the forum, I can look at it, but I'm not just going to pull up a chart. If you have a trade, and if you know what I'm saying, you can go to our forum page. If not, I'll put a link to it. But anyone can do it for free, and you don't have to sign up or anything. All right, so who did SRPT? SRPT. Da, 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 da. That's Jay. Okay, and then we got Eric. Yeah, Jay. All right, so see, I really wish I could see the overall time frame. Like, I have no idea if this was a gap up, gap down, which would really help me to understand something. But what's your play right here? What's your short entry here? Huge 5-minute rejection from the 50, so went short. So you see, you're saying this is the 50, it rejected it, right? Okay, Jay, I'm going to ask other traders in the room. Anyone in the room, type in 1 if you would short this stock, 2 if you would long it, or 3 if you would trade it or not trade, or just if you wouldn't trade it. So 1 for short, 2 for long, 3 for you wouldn't take a trade. You're unsure. 1 for short, 2 for long, 3 for no trade. I got a lot of people not wanting to answer. 1 for short, 2 for long, 3 for no trade. Okay, Jay, I would pick 3. It rejected off the 50, yeah. But it rejected after the first minute right here, going down, and then coming back up. So you're trying to get the pullback off rejection, but this 5-minute candle is a completely indecision candle. Let's say this candle rejected, there was no wick down here. Then you had this 5-minute bearish candle. It did a little pullback. Heck yeah, I might try to trade that. If it broke out for a 5-minute opening range breakdown, I might try to trade that. But on this indecision candle, it's already showed on heavy volume that the buyers have stepped in. And even though it's right below view up doing something around here, I don't think it's a really good short play because of this wick. I couldn't make that trade either way personally. But I love that you got stopped out really quick and you were willing to reverse your position way up there at a later time. So does that make sense, Jay? If Eric, if it was not for the fact it was 9:30, it looks like a short. So are you saying if this candle was maybe like 20 minutes later, it would look more like a short? Bleed from the beginning? You mean, is this what you're considering a bleeding? From 830, bottom of the chart. Like this? Like that? Right, so that's fine if you're trying to say that looks weak. All I'm saying is if this 5-minute candle is what you're using based on the rejection of this, I'm simply saying that does not look weak to me because it bounced off here. Maybe if you got short up here because you wanted to play at the resistance, you want to get down somewhere down here, but this looks just like indecisive. It doesn't look like one way or another. Bulls tried to win, bears tried to win, no one won, it's back in the middle. That's to me classic indecision, not sure. Yep, it's the spinning top. Exactly, Eric. So the point being, I like what you're saying, you've got what you're reading, but if we ask many traders, they're gonna all have different answers. And if we can see that in this trade, it's not perfect. I kind of like the bounce off the 50, but boy, I don't like that tail. Maybe this is like a B- setup, a C+ setup, and do I really want to take a risk on this trade if it's not an A1 picture perfect setup? That's what you might want to ask yourself. Where on this one, Jay, this is crystal clear, a long indicator. Now, not saying everyone wants to play the breakout, but you're in 5-minute uptrend, which means you're in the 15-minute new highs. You're above VWAP. You're above all these things. You're not trying to reverse a trend. You're going with the trend. Your risk was probably something like this under the moving average, so you got a decent reward where no one's going to say that that's going to be a short opportunity probably. Maybe they won't trade it because they don't want to trade momentum and breakouts when it's extended, but they're sure as heck not going to say this is a shorting place when look at how strong and bullish that chart looks. Exactly, Eric. Yeah, if you could do that, that's 100% true. And look, people on YouTube, hey, Araceli, I haven't seen you in a while. Exactly, Jay. People on YouTube, they said, Araceli said 3, Suncoast said 3. Araceli, too much uncertainty. Kyle, 3. Wait, Greg's here. What's up, Greg? Or Kelly, 3. So, Jay, people didn't necessarily say you were wrong, just like me. I didn't say long. Only 1 or 2 members from our chat did. But there was too much uncertainty where I can't make the trade either way. And one of the best things I ever did with my trading was when I started doing trade review and understanding how people traded charts. I was like, wow. The trades where we all have different perspectives, those aren't the trades I want to be in. I want to find the trades where everyone's going to agree and we could still be wrong together. But at least I know that I'm on the right side of a really good idea where people are agreeing with me, and I'm okay with being wrong at that point. No, not. We need don't say that to Peter. He'll probably like make some sort of trophy and send it. Yeah, what's up? So thanks, YouTube, for participating there. I really gotta try to look at those comments. I'm gonna try better, but thanks, Jay. Yeah, that was fun. Wait, why? Whoops. There you go. Yeah, it's fine. No, stop sharing webcam. I have weird lighting in my room right now because it's so dark. Okay, so Eric, is this yours? Wait, whose trade is this? Sorry, yeah, this is Eric's. Oh, sorry, I messed around with it. All right, there, we're back up. All right, Eric. Short on MU. This trade, my only one today, shows a failed attempt to extend a downward trend on MU in the last hour of the day. The 15-minute chart in upper left indicated a large Yeah, that's so it's really, if you can zoom in on your charts a little bit more in the future, that'll really help. It's very hard to see anything. And if I zoom in, it'll just be all pixelated. Yeah, really hard to see. So try to make the charts a little more, a little easier to see there. The 15-minute in the upper left indicated a large potential downside with a strong gain risk opportunity. On that same 15-minute chart in the SPY, which only started to break out at the beginning of this trade, a trailing stop of about 16 cents was used here, which was either too small or too large, depending on the perspective. A few cents wider, and I could have hit break even. So I definitely don't trade at the end of the day. You're trying to go short, 15-minute trend. SPY is trying to go up. You get in right here when it starts to reverse on you. And then you get out with too wide a stop. Or too, I mean, I get what you're saying, too narrow or too wide. But no, Eric, I see it. It's okay. So this will be good. What do other people see in this chart? I don't like to trade at this time of day. I always lose. I don't even always lose because I don't do it, but in the past, I could never find good moves. For myself personally. See a doji on that 15-minute? This one right here. Oh, the doji. Let me try to... This one right there, yep, I see this doji. It's still in lower lows. There you go, I see it. You're trying to go with the trend. So I like you're trying to go with the trend. You're not trying to go with the breakout. You've got to stop. You know, you're trying to give it space to move. It's in the low of days. You're thinking it's going to continue. What I instantly saw also was the absolute last thing I want to trade against is a hammer. If I'm going to go short, I don't want to see this hammer. So, and we cannot nitpick because watch this. Okay. Big downtrend. This is not really a hammer. Breaks up, fails, okay? This isn't quite a hammer, but it's much closer. You want a wick 3 times as long as the upper shadow, upper wick, and you want the break up. There you get a move up, okay? You're in another downtrend, downtrend. Here's a hammer. This is a picture perfect hammer. Breaks up, kind of chops around, tries to hold, comes back down. So you never know what's going to happen for sure. But again, the last thing that I want to trade short on, which means that I wouldn't do it no matter what, because I've seen it too many times, is a hammer where this wick, sellers tried to push it down, buyers win, and you form what could potentially be the low. And hammers and shooting stars mark the highs and the lows, and they can fail just like here, but I don't like to trade against them. And is that catching a knife? Well, he's not trying to catch the knife, Gary. He's going with the trend. He's trying to short it. Hasty from YouTube says it's extended, and it is pretty extended. How many legs down is this? 1, 2, 3. That's pretty extended. Hasty on YouTube is right. Exactly, Eric. They are the same. Shooting star happens at the top of a trend. Oh, well, they're inverted and at different parts of the trend. Shooting star is an upside down hammer at the top of a trend. A hammer is an upside down shooting star at the bottom of the trend. And Araceli from YouTube also says it's too extended. So you're playing the right kind of move and idea, but it is very extended. So here's a great chart. I love Hanging Man. Yep, here's the hammer. Let's find the shooting star. Here's the shooting star, right? If you just turn that shooting star over, it's going to equal the hammer. That's a really cool, it's a really clean artistic chart, JD. I'm going to download it. I just downloaded it. Eric, you can download it from JD. Just click on it. Click on the picture. Yeah. Jay, I will be actually. It's on September 21st, right? Oh, sweet. Wait, you got the interview from. What do you mean, JD? I never posted this. Oh, is this on Michelle and Nathan's wall? JD, is that the one on their wall? Ah, nice. Yes, send it in the when you see myself and Michelle, send it in the chat tomorrow morning. That'll be fun. Okay, so we did Jay, Booty, Jay, Eric, Booty again. And then JD. And then I'll get to YouTube trade. Hey, no name. Yeah, there's I can't tell him to do that, and I'm so sorry. You can try our trial. There's a trial code for pre-market 24 if you just want to try it to see it. And I get it. $150 can be expensive it's all about perspective, all about where you're at. There are a lot of great resources for free, and there's a lot of chat rooms that aren't that, and we do offer the lifetime membership at a very inexpensive price if you do the math on the monthly membership. But I'm sorry, I can't ask him to do that for us. But you can use the discount code premarket24 to just try out the room and see all the benefits we have. We think it's a very fair price for all of the things we try to offer for people. But never hesitate to ask. So booties, we want booties first. Yeah. Yeah, do that, JD. Okay, Booty, are you still here? Okay, it was a boob trade. Maybe you mean noob trade. Wait, a boob trade? I'm not... I'm not sure what you mean. First was boob trade. Need to stop trying in the first 5 minutes. Oh, this one right here. Dumb trade. Okay, so this one right here, first 5 minutes. I can't tell because I don't see the smaller time frame. Was it a long or a short? I guess it doesn't matter. I don't even know. Dumb, you don't care. Right, got it. So let's try this one. So I can't really see this one either. Are you only wanting to note this one, if this is the one you highlighted? We're going to look at the third trade because that's what I can see on the 1 and the 2 minute and all the charts. Right, so this one, what's your strategy? Are you playing losing VWAP? Sorry, Damon. Okay, so I don't know what the VWAP Lightning is. I really wish I knew, but what I see is it's trying to lose VWAP. It's under the moving averages of the 9 and 20. You're in a new 5 minute low. It kind of rejected making a new 15 minute high, although it's still in a new 15 minute high from this one. So where was your stop here? If you entered short here, and then you added in, where was your stop on your first one? And where was your stop on your second one? Because, Booty, this is what I got to say to you again. Regardless of where your stops are, you most likely partialed out early. And the only reason we partial out like this is either we're being smart and we're trading price action how we want to and we're not playing risk to reward, or in theory we want to play risk reward, but we have too much FOMO of locking in profits and we have to get out by micromanaging our trade, when really no new 1 minute high, no new 1 minute high, new 1 minute high, new 1 minute low, no new 1 minute low, new 1 minute low, no new 1 minute low. So right about in this area, would be like a picture perfect place to start thinking this is the consolidation. Maybe it's going to go back up. Maybe it's going to go back down. But this is where I want to lock in profit. But right here, this is just, it's very, very quick. Not letting your trade idea have time. Not letting it to materialize, booty. And if you took too much share size, I get it, right? When I do that, I get out too fast. So you need to properly enter into a trade and understand that's extremely important. If you have a great trade idea, you get a perfect entry, you have a perfect stop, and you have a perfect target, but you're in 4 times as heavy, none of that other stuff matters. So you break by one little rule of entering in too many shares. Good job. Okay, awesome. So really good job that you corrected it. And then what about this one right here? What was this exit? I really love that you were able to correct it right there and get out. That's excellent. Taking profit at R's. Okay. R, something like that. Then that's a really fantastic way. If you're profiting down at R's following your plan, I love these profits. But just note, within your R risk to reward profiting, no new 1 minute high, new 1 minute low, besides right here. In a new 5 minute low, no new 5 minute high all the way to something like this. So there's different ways to scale out. And if you can incorporate your R's with reading the charts, that's how you can really start to get advanced at understanding, wow, like I'm getting my R's, but there's also absolutely no price action push to the upside as well. And even if you trade your R's, you can still understand the chart in a different way while you're exiting. And that'll improve your trading going forward, booty. But that was a really good idea, trading, scaling out like that as a risk to reward. And then JD. Oh, this is the same one, JD, yeah? You just sent it twice? Oh, I didn't close it. Yeah, no, you sent it twice, I think, JD. I don't think there's another one. Oh, there is. Sorry, I see. I don't know how I got to that one. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, JD. So this is the one, right? Yeah, awesome. All right. So, just note, JD, anyone on YouTube and other members in the chat that are new, JD does a really good job, not just for me to see it, but for himself, seeing the bigger picture on the charts, noting exactly what he did, and journaling in this way. It makes it really clear and easy to understand, even for him to go back. On YouTube, how often do you do these? Like to send in mine. Hasty, we do it once a week. Yeah, Hasty, we do it Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then Tuesday and Thursday we do it at market, the power hour at 3 p.m. Eastern time to 4 p.m. Eastern time. We can't always get to people's trades on YouTube, but other members and other moderators will most likely look at it also on our forum. And Eamon, since you're here now, can you send the link into the YouTube chat for them? So, I wanted to take I preempted this as a reverse ABCD pattern, but it wasn't a very clean setup. A, B, C. I wanted to take a 1-to-1 partial at low a day, but was waiting to see if it broke, and instead formed a double bottom and squeezed. I almost took this double bottom reversal, but there were too many moving averages in the way, and I'm not supposed to trade the double bottom reversals. Okay, JD, really quick. I see the ABCD. I mean, this is a really tight ABCD after it keeps going down and chopping. So also note that if you can try to get these at the resistance, which is a completely different way to trade, shows resistance, 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 and then finally it breaks through. But I see the ABCD. I like the idea. I love that you get out right here after you noted the double bottom. And JD, you want to know what I did on this chart? Someone in the chat, I think it was Henry and someone else, commented on the double bottom. I saw it and I was like, oh man, 1 wick, 2 wick, 3 wick, 4 wick with a teensy little type of hammer. I probably bought up your shares, man. You gave your long shares to me. So you looked at the ABCD and you got out at the perfect time, JD. That's what I'm noting. Good job getting out and noting that double bottom. Sometimes we do want to hold to our wrist like we've been talking about, and other times if you can read the chart and realize like, oh shoot, this is a double bottom. Okay, and I actually got in here and I profited out up here, and then I got all out back at break even, and then it went back down again, and when I saw this as a triple bottom, I jumped back in for a long. So JD, how you bust through moving averages on smaller time frames is from larger time frame setups or overall setups. Like a double bottom, you can't really say that's a 15-minute setup or a 5-minute setup necessarily. It can happen on any time frame when you see those wicks happening and holding a price level. So moving averages always will be broken after they're being followed. And how do you break them and how do you trade into them? By people saying, I don't care about that resistance anymore because this is a double bottom. This is a triple bottom. This is something else. And now those buyers are going to overcome the 1-minute traders who are using it for a trend down. Does it make sense, JD? So you read that exit perfectly. Heck yeah, man. Thank you, Eamon. And I think we have one on, someone said they sent it. Tin on YouTube, are you still here? And Tin, just note, there's like a 12-second delay, I think. So we're going to try to look. There's a 12-second delay from when I say something to when you hear it. Excuse me. See, and Tin, look at, Kurt already replied to it. So you can see, even if we don't get to it, it will get answered. Got it. I'll look for that in a sec. No name. Yeah. We'll look for that in a sec. But Tin, I don't know if this is our. I'll look into our form because a couple of the trades are really pixelated, and this one is also. So it's really hard to see. I don't know if that's how you took the screenshot or if it's an issue with the forum. And if it is our forum, we'll get it fixed. Let me just see here, PDD. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna do my best to look at this trade, Tin. Perfect timing. So Tin, if you didn't hear me, I don't know if this is a problem with your screenshot capturing or if it's just our forum pixelating the picture, but I don't think so. I think it should be clearer than this. But I can kind of see it. Okay, it's kind of hard to see. So Tin, what were you doing here? You're going to have to walk us through this. Yeah, I believe it was. I'll look into it with our guy who manages our website for us. Yeah, I know, Booty. Maybe it's like because they're a guest and it... When we post pictures on our forum, it's always really clear. So Tin, I'll look into it and we'll figure it out for the future. But for now, look at the now tell us what you were thinking on this trade. Just walk us through it. 5-minute 50 SMA found support. All right, awesome. Look at this, traders, BBT. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heck yeah, Tin, I see it. So then you entered long. So he's not caring about. Tin, did you care about a new 1-minute high? Like, why did you get in long right here at this example? Why not after this bounce? Why not after this bounce? What caused you to wait for this level right here? Yeah, we'll look at PDT in just a sec. That other one. But yeah, how did you pick this part right before the bigger move happened, Tin? Okay, so he got kind of lucky. He just realized the 50. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, 4 bounce, 5 bounce later. Okay, so he just realized it. But if you can, this is how I do it. When you see some sort of bounce off of a moving average on a higher time frame, and then you try to wait for confirmation on the lower time frame. So if you get this bounce, an inside candle, and then a new high, you could take it long here, and now you have a clear level of risk, something like this, if you want to do this. Now it's really hard to do this unless you're saying this is going to be the support. If this is the real support, Tin, like you said, you got out a little early, this move dictates you staying a little longer if it's the support you think. It's not a scalp trade. Right, Tin, it's not a scalp trade. This is when you get to hold, or you can partial out of the trade. It's a really good trade idea. It's a really good enter. You have a clear defined risk. You have a stock that was in play. It's clearly in an uptrend, and I don't know if you would have got stopped out through this, but it did make the move you were hoping for. But yeah, I totally see the relevance, and I love how you use the moving average. You just need to practice holding. If you got out too early, practice your risk to reward. Awesome, Tin. And how you can practice your risk to reward, which is what I do, is I put in my stop in the market, I put in my limits in the market, and then I try to wait for one or the other to happen. And I will change my plan at times for sure. I'll change it and I'll get out early, but at least I have my plan, and it's helped me so much to stay in the trades longer and longer by not overanalyzing the trade once I'm in it. Yes, Tin, go through all that. Practice with really small share size or sim. If this is this your first trade ever? Or your first trade in real? All right, Tin, you see how this screenshot is a whole lot cleaner? I think it might have been something from the shot you gave me, and I get what you're saying, that it was clearer on your end, but most screenshots should be clear, so just double check that. Okay, this will be the last one, and then I'll look at your question, Eric, after this last trade. I try to just spend the last 5 to 10 minutes, and since it was slow and there wasn't any more on the off topic, I just want to do the second one. Hey, I'm not really good with web browsers. Like, I'm good with some things, but not other things. How do I zoom in on my web browser right now? Because I can't download the chart. And like, how do I continue to zoom in? Control plus. Ah, thank you. And then does it let me? Perfect, thank you. Well, I figured that, JD. Eric. Oh, control wheel on the mouse? That's better. But I can't. Is there a way to move this up and down without coming over here? Oh, duh. Oh, sweet. All right. That was a dumb question. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Desert Edge. Control school. Okay, got it. Yes, Ali, I do use the stop range sometimes. Yeah, the print screen. Try snip. Try the snippet tool. SNIP, or the snipping tool. That should work a lot better than the print screen. All right, No Name, are you still here? total dummy, yeah. Okay, you wrote your process. Okay, JD sold off, then reversed at previous day's close level. On the 5-minute chart, JD was making higher highs and higher lows. Once JD popped above VWAP, it dropped back to test VWAP, and it seemed to hold VWAP plus the 200 on the 5 chart. Once JD made a new 5-minute high, I went long, putting my stop loss below the 200 on the 1-minute chart. My target is the high of day. Okay, so he's trying to use the 5-minute, wait for the pullback, holding VWAP, coming back up here. What do you guys think of this trade in the room? Even though it's not one of our trades, this is really good, again, to know how other people read the same charts that you would see. Is the green line a 200 moving average? Exactly, JD. Yeah, no, Tin, I wouldn't take it. He's trying to say that it's higher highs and higher lows. JD popped over a VWAP, and it seemed to hold VWAP plus a 200 on the 5 chart. So what I want to see on these is I want to see the price action. If I'm going to make this type of trade, like maybe I'll trade something down here, but I'm saying on this type of trade, right? He's noting this. He's noting new 5-minute high. He's noting VWAP. And all of that is good. Now, what actually happened? It found resistance. Now, where is that resistance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? Well, the resistance is this if it looks like a 200 or so. Right, I know. So we don't know if it is going to be the resistance or not. And you do have a valid setup to try to bust through that resistance like we talked about, for sure. Okay? But you have this moving average sloping up, which you don't like. You want them to be sloping down out of your way. You have overall not in high of day. So I get that you're trying to go toward highs day. So it's not horrible. I'm just noting the things that aren't in your favor. And again, then you have this line acting as the resistance. So I think it's a decent trade idea for sure. I love that you got stopped out, and I love that you didn't enter, and I love that you had a 5-minute. There's just too many moving averages in the way for me on a stock that traders, did we note what was JD? Was not JD in our chat room, but was JD in play today? Was this, I don't remember it being in play, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember it also, yeah. So no name, you're trading into resistance on a stock that might not have been hugely in play, which means that other people aren't looking at it, which means that traders are, it's not going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy where you see something and everyone else around the world sees something because everyone's looking at it, no name. So why did you pick JD, no name? Why did you pick to trade JD? Okay, it wasn't in play, so if that's the case, why did you play it then? And I'm not like calling you out, I'm just saying what was the reason so we can learn. Is that abnormal? I mean, that seems somewhat normal for JD. Got it. So I just was lucky enough. Here, no name. This is just for you. This is a nice tidbit that I can share because I was lucky enough to interview just a couple hours before this one of the top traders at the top prop firms. I don't know if he's one of the top traders, but he's the owner of the prop firm, and he's the guy that mentors and coaches and looks through everything and puts his own money on the line and trusts these other traders through the rules and regulations that he puts in. And we got to talk with him today, and we're going to post it soon. But what he said was almost as important as playing setups and having good psychology is picking the right stocks. You can have the perfect setup with the perfect psychology, but if you're just not looking at the things you should be looking at, none of it's going to matter. That's one of the most important things. So I'm not necessarily saying that this wasn't in play, but it sounds like it wasn't from what people are saying, and I don't remember looking at it. I don't remember finding it interesting to make a big move one way or another. So be mindful of that. Be very, very picky and choosy with the stocks you plan to put your hard-earned money to, willing to risk something on looking at these small little white and red candlesticks with these green, purple, blue, light blue, and black lines on our chart. We got to be really careful on the stocks we select. Yeah, Desert Edge. And sometimes we like to pick JD or Twitter or things like that because there's a 1 cent spread and we're familiar with it and we think we can manage the risk, but they just were never in play to begin with. We're done, Nigel, buddy. Yeah, no name. Yeah, so just note that. And thank you, Eamon, for helping comment on this. Thank you, everyone. And hey, I'm curious, just for fun here, if you're watching... So, chat room. Thank you, everyone in BBT chat room. We'll do this again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Really appreciate you guys coming here. I know it's Wednesday at nighttime. There's better things to do, so hopefully this helped. But people on YouTube, it says... I'm trying to figure out how YouTube works. It says there's 33 people watching now. And I'm curious if I ask anyone, you can thumbs down me, I don't care. Thumbs up or thumbs down, you can pick. But I'm really curious if I ask how many people will just push that button as I'm trying to figure out how YouTube works. So anyone who hasn't thumbed up me or thumbed down me, again, feel free to everyone thumb down me, that's not the point. I just want to know if there's an increase and people are watching but they don't even care about doing the thumbs. And if it simply takes a request. So there was 1, so that means the time frame. Okay, so that's 12 seconds. No, for the current, this is live on YouTube, Eric. Okay. Yeah, 10, it's fine. And there you go. So there was 5 more, there was 8 more. Because there's 34 people here. Again, there was so it went from 6 to 15. So that was 9 more. Yeah, Eric, it's live right here. I'll send you the link just so you can see. You have 26 likes, Eamon, for you? I'm confused, Damon. What do you mean? 21. Okay, 21 likes. There, got it. Yeah. Okay, got it. So if okay, got it. So that was someone just unliked it. I see. Yeah, okay. Anyone can thumbs down me. That wasn't the point. Just to see if I ask if people automatically do it or not. I was just figuring it out. No name. Yeah, JD. Oh, thanks, JD, for posting that. Oh, it's 30 seconds? Maybe it's 30 seconds here. Yeah, Yank Nas. We do these every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you all. Hope you all find value. And tomorrow we'll try to have Eamon on, if he will, for Thursday to help us. It's always fun to have another person on. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your night.